Okay, now with everything set up the way we want it, we can take a picture. That's super simple. We go live, we make sure everything's in focus. We can stop the live and you hit snap. The snap will do exactly what you've told it to do. So it'll take the two pictures and it'll layer them on top of each other. Cool, simples. So after that, what you've got is different ways to view it. So the standard way it comes out is 2D, but you can hit split and it'll split it into the two different or three different or however many different colors and show you the overlay and bottom. If you do something bigger, you have a Z stack or various other things, so these buttons in here. But the one button I really want to show you, sorry, I haven't clicked on them, so there's other buttons out here. But one I really want to show you is the information tab. So this is one that people don't often look at, but in here it tells you every little bit of detail, the metadata about the image, including when it was taken and all that good stuff, the size, the image, the exposure time, the filters that are in place. So this is vital information. This is really important if you ever want to go back and work out what exactly you've done. So this gets saved with every image. So every time you save an image in this format, in the CZI format, it retains all this information underneath it. So it's always essential that in your, whenever you process data, that you keep the raw data as well. Okay, but the image, down the bottom again, we can adjust brightness and contrast. And the way you do that is click on the channel you want to adjust. So here the red isn't very bright, so if we click on the red channel, we can bring this in, which increases the brightness, and we can bring this up, increases the darkness, the contrast. Do the same with the DAPI, make that brighter, make the background darker. Now what we want, if we just, to look at one channel at a time, if you can click one of them off. So what we want to do is, when we're looking at the red channel, we want the background area, so this area where there's no tissue, which is over here, to be dark. Let's get some reflection off the room lights here in my camera, but it's dark on the screen. And this, you know, obviously the staining to be high contrast, which is fine. Now, a really important note, this adjustment is post-analysis adjustment, right? So this is you choosing how bright to be. So if you make an adjustment here, so this is black levels of 78, white levels of 2427, this adjustment needs to be applied to any comparator. So if you're going to say this antibody is less or more expressed or whatever, this protein is more abundant in this part of the tissue than another, it has to be a fair comparison. And part of that comparison is keeping these numbers the same between samples. In here, there's two other buttons, the gamma adjustment. If I do that, what you'll see is the curve will, the curve shape will change. Oh, sorry, I'm pressing the wrong button. And that's what it does to the image. And that shape puts extra emphasis on the lower, the less abundant pixels, and less emphasis on the higher ones. So you can see it's got brighter everywhere. This is an unlinear, a non-linear adjustment. And if you do that, you really have to tell your readers in your journal or in your thesis that that's what you've done. So normally, my suggestion is you normally don't do it unless you very specifically need to do it for a reason. Okay, so adjust each channel, decide where it's going to be, and then keep that constant from image to image. Down here on the left hand side, you can turn one channel on or off. The down arrow allows you to change the color that it's been shown in. So you might think red on a blue is not very good, maybe violet's a bit brighter, maybe green's a bit brighter. Now the camera here is black and white, so all the colors, any color that you pick is false color. So actually showing it in black and white is absolutely reasonable. And sometimes that's the best thing to do. Just go blue and black and you're all good. Anyway, those are standard colors, but the other option to do, of course, is to do a LUT. Now, what I mean by a LUT here, I'm going to turn that one off, turn this one on, and go to the LUTs. So these are basically, it's kind of like a heat map where you can choose different ways. So the bright pixels here are red, the dark pixels are blue, or the we're going to rainbow from green through to red, and obviously that super bright pixel is here. So again, it depends on the story you're telling or what you want to do, but these are available for you. And that's fine, right? If you decide you want to take every picture in the same way, which of course, if you're going to compare your your two samples to each other, you can actually adjust the same thing up here. So this is worth doing beforehand. You decide what color you want it to be. So if I want this to be white, I can set that to white, and I can keep that as blue. So now every time I take a picture, the first version of it is going to be like that. One final thing in this video, graphics. So the down here on the graphics is all pretty intuitive, but this ruler here is what allows you to put a scale bar onto your image. So this will tell you over here how big it is, which is obviously going to be useful for your readers.